You know that feeling where it just gets harder and harder to get going in the morning? Little trips take longer than they should and things don't move as freely as they used to. Well, maybe it's time you checked yourself in. The car, that is. What did you think I meant? Hey, mate, look after her, won't you?
You'll be right, Rod. We'll look after her.
We've been through a lot together, me and my ute, from the dust of Cape York to the beaches of Straddie, from the steepest of hill climbs to the deepest of creeks. And no matter where or what I've tried to do, the old cruiser always looked after me. So I'm returning the favour, which is why I've come to Diesel Care Dalby. Located in the middle of one of Queensland's busiest agricultural and mining hubs, these guys are the experts in all things diesel. And according to Gavin Bradford, it's a topic all car owners, particularly four-wheel drivers, should pay more attention to, as it's quite literally the lifeblood of your engine.
Roger, the most important thing to know about a diesel is it needs clean fuel. It's got to be free of water, free of contaminants. It's important to know where your fuel filter is in case you do get into trouble and it does get blocked, and how to change it. If you remember, when a fuel tank is filling up at a station, they're pouring in that fuel at a great rate of knots. That's stirring up all the fuel in the tank. If you just happen to come along when that happens, you quite possibly can get a bad batch of fuel or a mixed up batch of fuel.
So, Gav, that is clean, normal diesel?
Yes, and here are some nice samples that we've taken over the periods of time of some poor quality fuel that's gone through their system.
People have had that in their fuel tanks.
Contamination is particularly harmful in diesel engines because the entire system is dependent on the lubricants in the fuel itself. Water, grit, or even algae can all do damage, from major failures to minor wear and tear, which, as in this case, can have long-term impacts on key components.
So here you go, Roger. This is basically the heart of the engine. The part that does all the pumping of the fuel. This is your fuel pump.
Okay, the heart of the problem.
Yeah, so we'll take her inside and do a bit of surgery on it.
Righto, operating theatre.
No problems.
Like a hospital cardiac ward, this is where pumps are given a new lease on life. It's an intricate process, and in an era when computers coordinate almost everything under the bonnet, one that's become increasingly technical.
The bench here basically runs the pump, and we measure the fuel and adjust the timing and so forth, so that when it goes back on the engine, it's back to manufacturer specifications.
Okay. Mate, how much money have you got tied up on that?
With this particular gear here, with the bench and the add-ons that we have, you know, close to $200,000 just in this part of the unit.
What comes out of the workshop is a fully reconditioned pump, ready for transplant back into our patient. One of Gavin's biggest recommendations to prevent ending up in this place at an early age is the installation of an additional filter system, especially if you're heading to a remote area where fuel supplies can be somewhat perilous. The kit is specifically designed to protect the common rail diesel engines that are fitted to most new cars.
One thing this visit's reinforced, something I've always said, carry a spare fuel filter, because when you're on that trip of a lifetime in the middle of nowhere, if you get a load of stuff like that, that's the end of your trip.
It's a complex topic, and it's worth chatting to the experts about your particular system. Visit their website to find your nearest Diesel Care store.